But she thinks the sun and the moon sets on Glen Campbell.
Well, she is a very special lady. Here's my fate. I moved to Albuquerque, New Mexico. I went to work in my uncle's band. Well...
Now, you left Delight, Arkansas,
yeah.
right? And moved to Albuquerque.
Albuquerque. And, I don't know, my uncle and them, they never invited me to stay in the house, so I got a motel room. Right. And about a week later, this large man and his wife bought this, he was 6'6", weighed about 340, bought the motel. And he'd ran the Club Chesterfield across the street where I had worked, but they hadn't owned it when I was working there with my uncle. They bought the motel for an investment, and they ran the motel. Well, his wife was Miss Tiny. She was, I don't know, she's a 250-pound gal, and strong. I mean, she's 77 now, and she runs me ragged.
God.
And at that time, and she looked on the registration there, and she said, "You're from Delight, Arkansas?" And I said, "Well, yes, I am." I said, "You know anybody in Delight?" And she said, "Hell, I know all 38 of them." And here's how my fate works. She had went to school every day of her life with my mother. So I had me a mother hen there, man, and that's really where I learned about 40 years of life and about 4 years living with that lady.
And she gave you some advice.
Oh, very much advice she gave me.
But the first advice, you remember what the first advice was about staying at the motel?
Yeah, her daughter. She had a daughter, she'd adopted a daughter the same age that I was. Of course, she'd had her since she was a baby. She's really a great lady, man. She took this little baby in that had some kind of, you know, the strawberry type of face.
Oh, yes.
And her and her husband sent that baby to Mayo Clinic, cleared it up, and she's a beautiful woman today. Carol, she lives in New York. And Miss Tiny said, "You want you and my daughter to be the best of friends." She said, "But if you mess around with her," said, "I'll break your damn head. Now, you understand that, don't you?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am, I do." Because she scared me. I mean, she could set on you and wear you out if she so desired.
And yet today, you bring her here to Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
And you treat her royally.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't forget. You don't forget the people that played an important part of your life, do you?
She's a widow now, Dick, and she doesn't have a living relative.
She says that she wouldn't be living today if it weren't for Glen Campbell, because you're her reason for living.
Well, so be it.
Now, I notice that you're right at the moment are choking up.
A little.
To hold back the tears.
No.
Is it,
They're
how
not-
many
they're not
people in your
tears of
life, how
sorrow,
many people
though.
in your life, no, they're tears of happiness.
Yeah, there's a difference, you know.
How many people in your life can Glen Campbell say that he feels that way about?
All of them.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
All of the people that have touched your life, you mean? Your mom, your dad?
Mm-hmm. Right.
How about ex-wives? Do they fall in that category or not?
I feel sorry for them. They still haven't learned. In fact, my daughter got married in February, when by my first marriage, and I asked her. I just looked her right in the eye and I said, "Are you being a good woman?" And she said, "Yes, I am." Finally, and I said, "That's great, man. You know." I said, "That's really super." I said, "Because if you're not, you know, I wouldn't spit on you." Because I don't know why I feel that way now, Dick. I wouldn't spit on you. That's a stupid remark.
But you turn your back and walk away.
Yes, I'd rather do that. Who am I to judge, you know? Or it's like, why to take revenge, you know? Or anyone that proves a point with physical strength, or I watch the dating or the newlywed game on TV, you know. I look at those people and I say, my God. Oh, yeah, well, you didn't do that. And they're on nationwide TV and here, and you see such pettiness.
Yes.
And, well, not all of them, naturally, but some.
But what happens? Is it because you lose the love in a relationship, or because you take the other person for granted so much that...
It's one trying to cover up their own insecurities, I think. In other words, if you've got something within you, you're going to see it, and you're going to see it in the other people. If you hadn't got something in you, you don't see it. That's where innocence is. In other words, you could hurt me because I'm open to you. I'm glass to you. I don't lie to you, and I don't BS you.
Yes.
And if I did, you would probably know it. You'd probably see a change in Glen Campbell.
Yes.
But if you ever did see the change, that change would be constant also.
Yes.
I would love you always, but I don't have to like you, and I don't have to associate with you.
Yes. Love and hate, though, are so closely related, though.
Why should you hate?
I know, but what I'm saying is they are closely related.
Ruth Gordon said the greatest line I ever heard when she's 82 years old. She said, "I found out the only thing that's bothered me in my life is because I hated something or somebody." She said, "Don't hate nothing. You don't have to like it. You don't have to associate with it. You don't have to comment on it." As like I was commenting, you know, we was commenting about the situation with the Vietnamese people coming in or the immigration coming in. I can't do nothing about that. So why should I let it bother me? Why should I say, boy, these people shouldn't be doing this? That's bull. People who do those things are just, they're afraid, I guess. I don't know. Hell, let them in. Deal with it when they get here.
When Glen Campbell is 82 years old, will he be able to deal with it?
I don't know.
Who will take care of Glen Campbell? Do you think that your children will rally to you the way you've rallied to your folks, or have you given them so much that they don't feel the same kind of unity or oneness?
My children will take care of me, yes.
You really feel that? Confident of that?
Oh, yes. I don't lie to them. They'll know when they grow up.
But
they don't like me now, probably, I don't know, because of the situation, the way it is.
Yes. But does growth takes care of that, doesn't it? I mean,
Yes, it does.
growing up and maturing will take care of that. If they hate you or dislike you or feel hurt because of things that you have done that they feel that you perhaps have done to them,
Right.
won't their own facing the facts of life and learning so much about life
Yes.
change that opinion?
Yes, because
Yes.
they'll realize that I didn't do those things that they were hurt about, because I haven't. I haven't lied to them. If they want anything, I say, no, I give them the necessities. And I tell them, call me. I'm your father. Communicate with me. I don't lie to you, and if I will not punish you. But I said, if you steal and you lie and you cheat, yes, I will not spare the rod. I'll take my belt off and I'll wear your butt out. And they know that. And I don't care if they're 20. My brother came home from 3C camps one time. He was 18. I'll never forget it. I was about this high. Remember, I don't know what the 3C camps, they were something during the war.
Yes.
And Dad said, Wayne, go hook up the mules and let's go to town. Wayne says, think you ought to have one of the other kids do it, Dad. I'm grown up now. And Dad looked at him and says, go hook up the mules. And Wayne said, well, let's put on the boxing gloves, right? Because Daddy always kept 14-ounce boxing gloves for us to fight, because there's so many kids, right? And we was always getting in fights. I learned that the hard way, because I was the youngest boy and I always got the hell beat out of me, you know. And so Dad said, get him. And Wayne was plunk, 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 and Daddy hit him. It felt like a mule kicking a barn down. Knocked him colder than a wedge. And Carrie, my mother said, oh, Wes, you've killed him. And Daddy says, no. He went poured water on him and said, now, go hook up the mules.
But what I was saying about before is we're basically born honest.
Right.
And it's society that makes us or weaves us, and our parents, right? Do you think all of us
yes.
stem from our childhood?
Oh, yes.
Yes. We are what we are because of our childhood.
Right. See, from inception, had we done what our father told us, everybody had done what their father told us, everything would probably be equal right now between all mankind.
Mm-hmm. But there was a point when Glen Campbell, you said, was out having a good time and everything else. You really didn't have it together.
No.
Is there
Not at all.
is there a rebirth, a reborn kind of thing that happens that all of a sudden you come back to yourself and you say, hey, this isn't what I want out of my life. I want something more than this.
And you find, once you know something, once you commit to something, and when you know within yourself that something is wrong, it's bad for you if you do it. This is why people live with so much anger in themselves, is that they cannot control their own emotions. Like smoking, that's the one thing. Daddy, I mean, because ever since I was able to roll up with some corn silk, man, and smoke it, or coffee grounds, or grapevine, you know, when I was a kid, I got a kick out of it. I didn't know what I was doing. But I think that's why the grass laws in the different states in the United States are just totally asinine. There's no nicotine or no tar in grass. Alaska's grass laws, you can grow your own grass.
Yeah, but who could grow it in snow?
I know, that's what I mean. This is what the funny catch of it is. The governor of Alaska said, man, you can only probably grow it between June and the end of July, you know, to get about that high. No, but there's some great greenhouses in Alaska, man. and the marijuana laws, you can give it to your friends, you can grow 5 acres. But if you're caught buying or selling, it's 15 years in the slammer, which I would go along with anytime. That way, you're forced to share, and you're forced not to make a profit off of something that is illegal, supposedly.
Yeah, but that isn't...
This is not illegal. This will kill you.
Yes.
I love to smoke grass. I just wish it didn't get you high. I like the taste of it, you know. And I do occasionally. And that, to me, anybody that is ignorant enough on any kind of laws that is laid down, like in Nevada, for instance, if you got a joint on you in Nevada, you can get 20 years in Nevada. In California, you'll get a $100 fine. To me, that's silly. Boy, I mean, there's so much disunity but in the states concerning laws and concerning honesty. Like the kid in Missouri, they gave him 7 years because he had 2 joints on him, and he was supporting his mother and father who were blind, and they put him in the slammer for 7 years. That's not justice. And they let somebody have these 3 kids in Vegas here that killed that old woman last year and stole her purse, got 5 years probation and not 1 day in jail. That ain't justice.
Well, something is wrong with our
Yes,
system of penalizing certain people.
Right. We got off the track, didn't we?
But see, I think we have to accept all those things, don't we? I mean, we can.
No.
No.
You don't have to. It's because that's not the authority in Washington, D.C. That's supposed to be the authority of the nation we live under. If you don't like the authority of a state you can live under, you can move to another state. You understand what I'm saying?
Or if you don't like the marijuana laws, you could do something to change it. Now, why hasn't Glen Campbell led a movement for any cause? You're not a cause leader, though, are you?
No. I'm for the cause of what I stand for and why I can't do nothing about it. Often I have pondered...